Welcome and welcome back, fiber friends, to yet another episode of the Wool to Gold podcast. Today we're going to be doing an episode more on like the artistic process, and it is going to be a little bit more of like a chatty vlog style video because we're going to be talking about the fact that it's been essentially a month since I have spun any yarn. Yesterday I decided to pick things back up. I actually finished this bobbin of yarn that has literally sat on this lendrum for a whole month untouched. Essentially since I signed my lease about a month ago, I just have not wanted to spin. Frankly, I've been spending all of my time crocheting, and that's the thing about like being like a multimedia artist or even a fiber artist who maybe you just dabble in fiber arts. There's a lot of different fiber arts, okay? There's too many to even count, and so I got a little sidetracked. I put down the wheel. This is actually the longest I've ever gone without spinning since I started spinning. And I started spinning over 3 years ago. And I've essentially, the longest I had gone without spinning before that, I think was about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, but that really feels like a stretch. And the way that I started my spinning journey was actually during Tour de Fleece, so I challenged myself to essentially spin like every single day of July. It's once again July. I am not participating in Tour de Fleece this year, and because I'm moving, I really did want to join a team because I'm going to be like actively moving during Tour de Fleece like in July, in about 9 days. Very exciting. And so as a result though, I do want to challenge myself to try to spin every day of July if I can. My spinning wheels are obviously coming with me to my new apartment. They're some of the most important things that I'm going to be moving with me. And I do think I can sneak in that little 15 minutes of spinning even on moving day. I don't know. I just think it would be an interesting challenge. I'm going to try to do daily check-ins. I'm not really sure why I decided that I just didn't feel like spinning. I could feel it, and I was forcing myself to still try to like spin a little bit towards the like very beginning of this spin drought. I guess that's what I'm gonna call it. But I'm just one of those people that like at the end of the day, like I'm a pleasure seeker. I am a hedonist. I would really rather avoid unpleasant sensations, etc. if I can. And so if I don't want to do something, I just don't do it. I don't force myself to do things that I don't want to do, especially things that are supposed to be enjoyable and a hobby. And so I let myself put it down for a month. I think it was good. Again, I got a lot of crochet done if you've been following along with my other videos. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little like spinning vlog. I'm not going to put all of my check-ins in one video. That also felt a little bit like, I don't know, a daunting task while I'm actively trying to move to a different state. And so instead I'm gonna do like week by week, I'm gonna post these little like vloggy updates, chatty updates about whether or not I am actually spinning every day, how I'm feeling about it again. Just getting back into the rhythm of making art and creating every day. I do think that like a daily spinning practice is so productive, and if you can get yourself into the habit of it, it really makes a significant difference in how much spinning you can get done. When you sit down and do the exact math, like 15 minutes a day, that's about 105 minutes over the course of a week. I genuinely feel that breaking it up makes you way more productive than if you just sat down on like a Sunday afternoon and spun for 105 minutes straight. Now, some people might disagree with me. I just find that once you start to get into the habit of doing the like, I'm just gonna try to spin 15 minutes every day, you end up spinning more than 15 minutes every day, just because spinning is fun. Spinning is great. I have really missed it now that I'm getting back into the rhythm. And I'm gonna consider this my like day one check-in. It's July 1st. I am moving, I guess, in 8 days. I'm moving in 8 days. Very exciting. I do have a little bit more packing to do. I have been crushing it in the fleece washing department. Okay, I've got my system streamlined right now. And so I'm all done with Big Blue. That's 4 pounds of fleece of raw Rommeldale that I've washed. And then I have only about half of this other fleece left, which means only about 1.5 pounds of raw fleece of that other smaller Rommeldale fleece that I got. And then once that's done, mourning and dyeing, baby. I'm probably gonna do most of the hand dyeing in my new apartment because I really want to show you guys like my natural dyeing process, and I think I'll just have a little bit more room and ability to like show you the setup and bring you along with me. But maybe I'll get some of the mordanting done before I go. I don't know. I'm having a hard enough time actually keeping all these bags labeled of raw fiber. I was like, I'm gonna be able to tell the difference between the two Romeldale fleeces once they're clean. Why did I think that? I'm a fool. I'm a fool, but that's all right. They're not really, they're, right now, they're physically separated. And so inside right now is all the dried, first Romeldale fleece. So as long as I label the bags before the fleece that's washing and drying outside is dry enough to put into bags and I bring it inside, we won't have a problem. That sounds like a normal, standard, easy task for a normal, easy, standard person. Unfortunately, if you've watched any of these videos at all, you've probably gathered that I'm not the most normal standard person. And so we'll, fingers crossed, we'll hope that it actually gets done. But that's going to be my check-in for today. I'm going to try to leave it not too long. And again, thanks for coming along on our little spin everyday challenge in July. All right, so it's July 3rd. It is the third day of our spin every day in July challenge. I did spin last night, okay? I didn't film because frankly, I looked a mess. I had gone to the gym. I had told myself I was going to spin that day, and it was like 9:30, and I did get some spinning in. The proof is in the pudding, though. So on the first day, I did end up finishing this bobbin, and then I'm going to move you guys, so brace yourselves a little bit here. But you can see my Lendrum bobbin here. I started it last night, and then I just did, like, this section now. Yeah. So far, so good. Okay, spinning every day can be sometimes a little bit of a challenge, because you have to, like, make yourself sit down. I do think it's easier if you, like, have your wheel ready to go, or at least it's easier for me to spin every day if my wheel is, like, easy and accessible. That's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to moving into a new apartment, because I'm gonna be so real, like, to me, personally, the way my brain works, I don't see any need to follow traditional rules as to how my apartment needs to be set up. I'm going to set it up the way that I want it to be, which is to say, like, who needs a living room? I might not even have a traditional couch. I am totally going to turn that into, like, my studio space, for lack of a better word, and I'm really excited for that because I think I will get a lot more done if I can just have all of my projects, like, out and visible, because I am one of those people. I know this about myself. If it's out and visible, like, I'll do it. When it's out of sight, it's out of mind for me, and I really struggle with that, and I try to work around it, right? I don't just acknowledge it and be like, oh, there's nothing I can do. I try to do my best. It's just I'm in a small space where I have to hide things away, or literally I would be living in just a big rotating pile of mess 24/7. And that's just not how I want to live, and so I am really looking forward to having that extra space. I've also just been reflecting on, while I'm, like, getting back into spinning, because it's been a while, and this is not my most consistent work, by far, and sometimes it's really interesting because I've been sitting down, like, a few times throughout the day to spin, and it's always interesting to see how, like, it seems like with no pattern, sometimes I sit down, and it feels like I never had that gap in spinning. It feels like it was before, and it's really easy. And then sometimes I'm like, dang, I can't spin consistently at all right now. But at the end of the day, I have said this time and time again, I really do think the biggest barrier to people getting better at spinning is getting too caught up almost in the spinning, especially initially. Like, initially, it doesn't matter if, like, your yarn is super even. Just practice making yarn. Practice drafting consistently, because let me tell you, once you nail being able to draft consistently and draft with your treadle speed, spinning consistently will become a lot more easy, just, like, naturally after that. It's sort of a side effect of improving your general your spinning form, I guess, for lack of a better word. It also is a reminder at just how much, like, stealing away a few minutes a day to do a hobby like this, a slow hobby, I should say, it really builds up so quickly. Like, it really does. I don't know, it didn't take that much time to do this, and it really motivates me then to, like, continue the project when I look back, and it's only been 3 days, and I've gotten, like, pretty far so far. I don't know. Yeah, these are my day 3 reflections. Maybe I'll check in again, maybe I won't. I might have work tonight, so we're gonna see. It's kind of my last, like, week of work, because I'm moving soon. I'm so excited, but yeah, I'll see you guys later. Alrighty, fiber friends, it is a few days later. As you can probably tell by my background, it's like the day before I'm supposed to leave. In less than 12 hours, I am going to be in Delaware, moving into my new apartment. Very, very excited. As always, I was super foolhardy in thinking I was like, I'm gonna have no problem keeping up with this spinning everyday challenge while I'm actively trying to move. It wasn't an issue until yesterday when I did start to have to like pack up my car, when I realized like in order to make sure that I can fit everything, I kind of have to like put all my spinning wheels in there and like put my drum carter in there and all that stuff. While I wanted to update you though, because besides yesterday, I did keep up with at least doing a fiber art every day, okay? I still failed my first week of challenge. I wanted to record this because like I did fail. Failure is okay. Next week, we're gonna do even better. We're gonna be in a new studio, so hopefully it will be even easier to maintain my spinning everyday goal. I wanted to show you guys just a little bit of what I did accomplish in the past few days when I was trying to do a little bit at least of a fiber art every single day. So as you guys could clearly see behind me, I did finish this hand spun yarn. It didn't come out the way that I expected it to. Like I did expect the green to come through at least a little bit more. But I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. Honestly, this is more of a yarn that I would probably use and find very usable. Again, it's a 2-ply. It is 10% silk, 10% bamboo, 80% targi wool. It's incredibly cushy. Like it's a really fluffy yarn, which is very characteristic of targi. It does tend to do that. It fluffs up really nice. And considering I didn't spin for a whole month, this is not bad work in my book. I don't really know what I'm going to call this, so if you guys have any suggestions for a name, drop them down below. I'm very open to suggestion. And then as I mentioned, I actually got some drum carding done. So I did drum card up a little bit of that Rommeldale that I had, both the dyed samples that I did with lac, as well as the white sample. I made a bat where I blended up a bunch of like green fiber with the white Rommeldale, but I'm pretty sure I packed that away already. I could have sworn that I left it out so I could do this like check-in video and show it to you guys, because low-key, I named it Frog Hunting because like it's very green. It's very green. Kermit the Frog would be proud. I really love it. And I wanted to show it to you guys. I don't know why I packed it away. Whatever. I made these two bats as well. Okay, so the first one on the top is called Disco Heat, and the reason that I called it that is because of the like pink red lac color that came through, and then I blended it up with some fine wool and then Firestar. So if you look really closely, I actually think the light is helping catch it. There is this rainbow Firestar in it. It's like gold and blue and red and green and orange and all these different colors, and it adds just like a nice shine to it that reminds me of like, I don't know, a late night summer at a disco. That's the energy that it's giving, at least to me. And then I also made this other bat, which if you want to see me making these bats, I think one of them, both of them live. I think maybe just this one live. You can check in. I did post my very first YouTube live that I did recently here. I'll link that down below if you want to go check it out. In the very beginning, obviously, like it's a little slow to start, but you know, if you stick around, I talk about a lot of different things on live. But this one is Raspberry Lemonade, and it is that same Rommeldale wool dyed with lac and then blended up with fine wool, Tussa silk, and Sari silk. I tried to do like pinks and golds and yellows in this one to give it that like raspberry lemonade vibe. And then I was talking about it in the live. I really want to spin this and then apply it with a thread that has beads on it, because I have these really cool like pomegranate seed colored like seed beads, glass seed beads. They just have like such a nice like glitter to them, and they really remind me of like individual like raspberry pieces or pomegranate pieces. I don't know, I think it fits the vibe, and I really want to spin that yarn. So that's definitely what I'm gonna do with this. As soon as I get my studio set up, I really want to get this project on the wheel. But yeah, that's all I really have to share for now in my first week of trying to spin every day in July. We win some, we lose some. You know, I like to be honest on this channel and authentic, and I'll be honest and authentic and say that I was foolhardy in thinking that this goal of mine would not be interrupted by me moving to a different state. It would be one thing if I was moving to like another town within the state, but that was goofy of me. So I'm gonna let you guys go, but as always, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Wolt's Gold podcast.